Hello, everyone. Now, you might be wondering why you're seeing this instead of a real video this week. I had a series of unfortunate events. I had a video ready. Well, it had one edit left, but it would have been, edited already and uploaded already. Um, but it has been deleted. And how that came about was it was basically this video was just cursed from the start, and me accidentally deleting it was like the cherry on top. So to start off, I don't think you can see it, but right here is my new MacBook Pro 14 inch. And I got that, and my Mac Mini here, I'm going to trade it in so I can get a dock, for the Apple credit. But so basically, I had, Reaper on here, I had Studio One, and I didn't want to load all that onto my Mac. So I took all the stems off them, and I said, well, while I have Studio One available, let me do a video with Studio One, and I'm going to record a demo for Halcyon for the song Rain, and I'll, before I wipe this to get rid of it, I'll do that, and then I don't have to put Studio One on my new computer, and I'll have a video. And then something else happened that was rare here in Southern California. It actually rains. So I filmed, this is the only footage I really have left, is this here, me in the rain, talking about how rare it is it rains, and I'm going to introduce the song Rain. Hello everyone, today we're on a rare rainy day in Southern California. I'm here to introduce the next demo I'm working on, which is called Rain. And I basically recorded that, and I'm like going, this is perfect. I also mentioned in the video, which unfortunately got deleted, all the different versions of the song Rain that came out. There was one that was just an acoustic, the original demo where it's just me and an acoustic. Then there was like one where it was like just a rough demo with drums and electric guitar. And then there was the one where I joined with a couple friends to start what I thought was going to be an indie band, but they tuned down to F sharp, or they started tuning down to F sharp, and I tried tuning down to B, didn't like it, went back up to standard, and they turned my song into this. And I had some stems of, I tried recording it. I had this EP. My favorite video game is Life is Strange, and I did an EP with 4 songs, and this was one of them. I redid the lyrics differently for that so it would fit with the story, whatever, long story. But I took these stems and I imported them into Studio One. First, I had a problem with the drum stem for some reason. It recorded it into a bunch of separate tracks, and no, it wasn't like separate tracks, like the hi-hat was on one and the snare was on another. No, it was like the bridge was on one track, the first chorus was on one track, the second chorus was on, it was insane. So I got all those drum tracks and I put them in a drum group. I showed how to do a group track in Studio One, which is a little, I like it better than Reaper, but it's a little clunky compared to like Logic. So I did the track stack, group track, whatever, and in for the drums, And then I was going to use their drum sounds, but I didn't like any of them, so I had to use Easy Drummer. I used their Empire, which it was good. I like it. It had the five. It has five models on it, and it was the five I would choose if I was going to only choose five. It had bass, American guitar, Vox. American guitar is Fender, in case you didn't know. A Marshall type British distortion and American, I guess, Mesa type distortion. It was really good. I thought it was perfect, and it sounded good. Also, another problem that occurred, and I didn't notice till it was way too late, was for some reason, after I'd opened Studio One, OBS would stop recording audio. Now I have loop back through my interface, so I can record my audio coming out of my DAW. But for some reason, Studio One not only killed the sound coming from it, it also killed my mic sound. So you couldn't even hear me describe what I was doing. And so I didn't notice this until I was going to do vocals. And I was just like, what the heck is going on? Why is Studio One doing this to me? If this was Logic, it'd be one and done. I'd already be done. So I'm like, now do I have to do a voiceover on all of this? So what happened was my external drive, it started showing trouble. Like when I first loaded Ventura, it'd do a question mark even on this computer. But I didn't think about that. So all of a sudden, when I get my new Mac, I'm trying to render video files for another video I'm doing, and they wouldn't render. And so I call Apple up thinking it's the MacBook. It ended up being that my drive was FAT32, which they didn't say Ventura doesn't like FAT32, but they're like, oh yeah, FAT32 can be, problematic, so it could work one day and not work the other. Surprisingly, it stopped working the day after I, installed Ventura. I started getting a little question mark because I keep my drive in the taskbar. It'd show a question mark instead. I was like, what the hell? And then it wasn't until I started rendering files that I go, okay, that at first I thought it was the MacBook, but it's obviously Ventura. Even though Apple doesn't want to say it's Ventura, they want to say that it's just happenstance that it just started messing up when I installed Ventura on both of these computers. Not that FAT30 is problematic. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So I had to reformat my drive. And how I have it is I record these a month ahead, except this one's a day before. And I have, every time a video comes out, I empty a folder and I start recording and putting the footage in for that next month's week. So say tomorrow, this one comes out tomorrow, this would have been in the D folder. I have A, B, C, D for the 4 weeks in a month, and I have an E when there's like a 5th week in a month, a 5th Monday in a month. And so I was like, okay, I gotta get those files. I have to reformat my drive to their Apple standard. And so I want A, B, and C were small because they just had like the basic files and I haven't edited them yet, or I hadn't at the time. And D, which was supposed to come out today, which is tomorrow for me right now, that's the one with Rain, and it was like 72 gigs. And the only spare drive I had was a thumb drive, which was like 128 gigabytes. And I had all that, and I had all the stems. So I had to somehow juggle everything and get it off my hard drive so I could reformat it, my external hard drive. And so A, B, and C I just threw on my computer's hard drive. And there was nothing in E, so I just had to deal with D, which was like 72 gigabytes, and the stems, which were like 40 gigabytes altogether, I think it was. And so I'm like, okay, I gotta juggle this because what I was most worried about was the stems because I didn't want to be like, hey guys, you know that album I'm working on? Well, it's gone now, because they want to eventually uh, remix all the songs, and I'm gonna use Logic instead of Studio One because, well, I'll get to later why I'm not liking Studio One. So while I'm getting the stems and making sure they get on to the drive, and also some other tracks, I'm making sure they're going up to iCloud. I forget about the D drive, the D folder with all the with tomorrow's or today's when you're watching it video and all the files. And the worst part was I stored the mix down in the folder too. So I don't even have the mix down of what I did. So anyway, I forget after doing all this stuff, watching everything slow because it's in FAT32 now, and Ventura doesn't like FAT32, so it's taking forever to transfer from the external drive to the external thumb drive. And I forgot about the D folder. And after that, I wipe the drive and I start putting the stuff back into it. And that's when I notice, I'm like, wait, where's the D folder? I just deleted everything. And that's why I don't have a video for you right now. That's why you're looking at me right here, looking all sad. Anyway, so yeah, regarding Studio One, it's fine. The problem I have with it is, for the money it costs. I just found out, like I paid 2 years ago when it came out with Studio One 5. There's already a Studio One 6. And from what little I've read about it, it looks like a minor update. It should have been Studio One 5.5. But I think they need money, something. I don't know what it is, but maybe they're trying to push people onto their subscription side of it. Like Pro Tools used to buy that, now it's all subscription. Maybe Studio One's going the same direction. But I would advise get Reaper. It's more configurable, and you don't have to worry about rebuying it or paying for an upgrade in 2 years for a minor update. And you can use that money to buy like virtual instruments and other VSTs, get Easy Drummer, Helix, whatever. But there you go. Next week, my Christmas song will be coming out, or the making of it, and also I'll have the link to the SoundCloud where you can listen to it there too. All these, I can't recall, but a lot of these videos I've been calling it after the holiday of the month. This one truly is a Christmas song, a little bit too on the nose than I like. The other ones, I think I was doing it, and it was really a stretch to call it like a Thanksgiving song, but I should have just called it my November song or whatever. But who cares? It's more about the making of the song and showing, the process. Even though I'm kind of doing that less now too. I don't know what I would really want to do. I'm just a confused guy, I guess. Anyway, enough of my rambling. See you next week and have a good one.